Hey mates, what's up? Hope you are all doing well and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to set up a WireGuard VPN on Linux. It's useful, for example, if you want to create your own VPN and browse the web anonymously, because most of the commercial VPNs are not only collect log about you, but their IP addresses are well known and often marked and monitored. Or let's say you want to access your home network while traveling, or connect to services running on your LAN, or use apps that only work on your own country IP, for example. You could even work from a beach in the Caribbean using a cheap travel router that connects via WireGuard VPN, let's say to an old laptop at home, acting like your home server. That's why all your devices get your home IP and your company sysadmin still think you are working from home, so that's grand. Plus, it boosts your security when connecting to public or shared Wi-Fi networks because all the traffic encrypted and routed through your VPN. That's why it's much more protected and secured. Alright, so let's begin. Alright, so as you can see, I have virtual private servers here. I use Kayon host because it's cheap. It's like 1 cent a day and you can use the credit after you finish with the environment for other environments. And they accept crypto as well. Let's install quickly Linux OS. As you can see, I get also a public IP, so it's be easy to manage server. Alright, environment is up. Let's log to the server SSH. Okay, now I'm going to change the name of the host. Let's call it CPBreeze WireGuard VPN Gateway, and the location United States. Also, as you can see, I use this cheat sheet. It's a document with all the steps. I will follow it because it's easier to remember this lab. I will share it after that. And as you can see, I also set up machine with Mint. I called it WireGuard client location Argentina. It's very easy to different between both of the machines. All right. Okay, back to the server. Let's check the location of our IP. So as you can see, I write CURL IP info and I am located in the United States. This machine have IP of the United States. Now let's update the system. Sudo apt update and sudo apt upgrade. Alright, after we upgrade the system, just search for the file under var run reboot required. If you see this file, it means that you need to reboot the system. So in this case, we need to reboot the system. Let's reboot it. And the server is booting up. Let's re-log in. Okay, we have access to the servers, United States. We update, upgrade. Now we install WireGuard. Sudo apt install WireGuard. Yes. Okay, we have the WireGuard. The next step, as you can see, is to create, to generate private key and public key. So let's do it. Let's copy this command, the gen key, wgen key with the pipes, and then you will get private key and public key. You can see the private key and the public key. And it's go without saying, but you should not share the private key, because if someone have your private key, can sniff the traffic, hijack the session, and do many bad things. So do not share it with anybody. Okay, now we need to configure the WireGuard connection. So we need to create an interface and tell the WireGuard who is the peer. Let's create a conf file under etc WireGuard WG0, write interface, and now we need to paste the private key that we generated, or you can use private key someone will provide you. It doesn't have to be the one you generated. Okay, I forgot to copy the private key. Let's log in again, get the private key and paste it. Alright. Next step, we need to create an address, to add an address to our interface, VLAN interface. So make sure you don't use an address that's already configured on your server, router, whatever you're using, because then we have a rounding clash. So I choose the network 10. That's usually convention with subnet mask of 24. Let's write IPA on the server, see if we have this network on one of the interfaces. Not, we don't have this network, we can use it. If you have 7 network, you can use different subnet masks, just separate the networks. And now we need to set up the IP tables and the NAT. Just copy and paste this command. I don't want to dive into it. I don't want to make it too complicated. And with the public IP interface, the public interface. And the listening port, since we now setting the server, we need the listening port. I use the default port 51820, but you can use any port you want. Just make sure it's not blocking the firewall. You can change port unless there is no deep inspection. Probably it will work. I don't know if in China it will work or country that block it, but it should work. Okay, now we finished with the server. Let's go back to the client. So as you can see, client A, location Argentina. We'll go back to the server later, and we do the same steps: updating the system, then upgrading, and we will check if we need to reboot. So write sudo apt update, make sure the system is updated, and so do apt upgrade. It's probably will take a while. I will fast forward it because this is a VM, very weak VM. Alright, it's finished to upgrade the system. Check if you have the reboot required file under var run. If you don't have it, you don't need to reboot the system. Okay, so in this scenario we don't need to reboot the system. Let's continue. Okay, so the next step, let's check the cheat sheet. Is probably to upgrade, to install the WireGuard package. Sudo apt install WireGuard. Alright, WireGuard is being installed. Now we will generate again private key and public key, unless you have another key that you got from your sysadmin, but if not, you need to generate your own one. So just copy and paste the wg-gen key command with the pipes, and as you can see we have private key and public key, and of course you do not share with the private key with people that should not be involved, because it can make problems. And the next step will be to create a configuration file under etc WireGuard and wz-conf, that's the interface. And stem story here, we write interface, and we will give properties to the interface. So first we copy the private key. Let's open another terminal and see what's the private key. Paste the private key. Alright, next step, we need to give an address to this interface, the WG0, and we need to make sure there's no other network with this same subnet. So let's see, IPA. We do have network with start with 10. It's not the same subnet mask, but it can make problems. Let's change it. Let me just change the interface to bridge in my lab, my VMware. Get the interface down and up, and we probably get new IP. Alright, yeah, we have 192.60. Okay. So now we can use the 10 network. Right, address and the network you want. For example, if we do /8 for the subnet mask, it will have problem. So that's why better to keep different network. Okay, now you can use, in this situation, I choose the Cloudflare DNS. You don't have to mention any DNS, it will use the default one you have on the system, but I use this one just for example. It's IPv4 and IPv6 of Cloudflare. You can mention the MTU as well if you want, the maximum unit size, but you don't have to. It will take the default one from the system, from your interface. Alright, next step, we need to tell the session to which peer it connect, to which server. So we write the public key of the server. Okay, so let's check what is the public key of the server. Alright, copy the public key, paste it. Okay, next step, we need to mention how we can reach the server. It should be IP that's available on the ClearNet, or if not, you can use a dynamic DNS if you're behind NAT. But in this scenario, I have a VPS with a static IP address. So we mentioned under the endpoint the server IP address. Let's check what is the IP address of the server. Okay, 6587.762. It's worth to ping this address. It's reachable if your server answering pings, it's not blocked, to make sure you have access. Alright, yeah, we have access. Okay, and the default port, it's 51820. The next step, we need to mention what kind of traffic we want to pass. I configure it that it will pass all the traffic that sits on the client endpoint. Let's say you have a switch connected to the client, so all the traffic, all the IPs will be full, but you can mention specific station, you don't have to. And the persistent keep alive, make sure that the tunnel is up, the VPN is up and not falling down. It's running on UDP, so it's better to keep alive, that the interface will stay up. Okay, now let's go back to the server. Now we need to mention the peer of the client, because the server need to know who allowed to connect and how to respond. So we need to mention the public key of the client, paste the public key in the server config file. Alright, copy it. Alright. Yeah. Next, we need to mention which IP are allowed. You can add a network address, but it's better just write specific IP. So this is the IP we gave the client. Save. Okay, now it's important to make sure that if you want to make any change in the configuration, you need to set the interface down. Now we bring it up on the server side, and it will go over the config file and create the VPN interface. Okay, so as you can see, IP link, go over, and we have warning that it has non-zero host, so it's kind of issue. Let's change it. We mentioned only one station. Yeah, so /32, only one station. Yeah. Okay, I forgot to mention the interface, the public interface. Okay. IPA. Okay, now all good. And let's raise the interface also in the client side. Okay, all good. If you write IPA, you can see the interface. And the same on the server. And you have many diagnostic, and as you can see also in the GUI, you can see that the VPN is up, and as you can see we can ping the gateway, the server, and it's working. And you can run the same diagnostic command that will give you information about the tunnel. You can see what you send, what you receive, what allowed IP, etc. And IP link will show you a list of the interfaces. You can run the same diagnostic commands on the server side as well if you want. And WG show will show basically the same. Yeah, the endpoint, allowed IP, etc. How many bytes you send. And we already pinged to the server side. I won't run the diagnostic command on the server. There's no point to. But you can if you want to check on if you have like troubleshooting issue. Okay, now as you can see, we can ping from the station to the server, but we cannot ping out to the internet, and all the traffic is being routed via this VPN. See, from the server we do able to ping to Google DNS, to Cloudflare DNS. Let's ping Google. Okay, we get the IPv6, but we have routing. Let's run TCP dump just to prove it. If you run TCP dump on the VPN interface, you see we're getting the ICMP, the ping, but if we will check the actual physical interface, the ping does not ping routed outside to the internet. So what we need to do, we need to enable routing on the server. In order to do that, we'll edit the systemctl conf and we will enable routing. Just unmark IPv4 routing and IPv6 routing, permanent, and then effect. Just write the command sudo cctl-p, and as you can see, our package is being routed to the internet. So from the station client to the server and to the internet. So we check it out, everything is good. Okay, and the next command is to make sure that the WireGuard service will boot automatically. So basically what you need to do, sudo systemctl enable wquick at interface wg0, and you can check the status, see that the service is actually up and running, and it is, and you can also check the log. Okay, so we do the same for the station. Make sure that the VPN is automatically booting. Okay, seems legit, seems okay, it's working. And I wrote also you need to check the clock sync, because sometimes the VPN does not work if the clock are not sync. And if you want for troubleshooting, you can do IP route, check the routing. And let's prove that we're actually passing via the VPN. CURL info, IP info, and you see we're getting the same IP address. And let's try to surf the internet. IP, what is my IP location? And it should show us that we are in the United States. Yeah, we are. Okay, we're getting the same IP, Washington. Okay, fantastic. Now let's reboot the server. Let's see if it will boot. We will get our VPN running automatically, booting up automatically. So the ping from the station is still running, and all the traffic passing via the VPN, so it's down. So when the server will boot, okay, yeah, see the ping is keep running, the ICMP is still running. Let's login back to the server. And now let's write the command wg-quick down, and it will set the interface down, because I want to make another change. Okay, now let's add another peer for the sport, see how it's working. So I have another station here, I call it client B Brazil. Let's do it fast. Sudo apt update, and we will upgrade as well. Oh, wait, the system crash. Okay, let me set the lab again. Okay, I have a couple of bad packages. Let's fix it. Next. Okay, so the apt upgrade the rest of the packages after the system collapse. And let's check we did reboot. No, we don't need reboot. Okay, next. Okay, so let's add the peer. We need the public key. Let's generate public key. Oh yeah, let's install first WireGuard, sorry. Generate public key with the gen key command. Okay, public key. Okay, we need the public key copy to the server configuration file. And of course, don't share the private key with no one. Write the private key under the configuration file on the station B. So interface, private key, address. Let's give it this time 10.0.0.03, because 2 is already taken. Oh shit, okay, we still have the network 10. Let's change it. Bridge, different network. Let's just restart the network card. Alright, yeah. and DNS if you want to mention it, IPv4 and v6. And here we need to write the location and all the information of the server. Yeah, let's add a comment, be easy to understand. And public key, the public key of the server. Let's copy the public key of the server. Alright, next we need to mention the endpoint, the IP of the server and the port. Make sure it's accessible. So let's check that. Okay, the IP is this one, just right. IP IC interfaces. And the port, the default one, 51820. Yeah, we have access to this IP, good, it will be available. In case the IP is not, if you're behind NAT and the IP is not accessible, just use dynamic DNS. It's probably solve this issue. Unless you have double NAT, but it's a different story. Okay, and persistent, keep the tunnel up and running, the VPN. Every 60 seconds we send command. Okay, go back to the server. And in another peer, we need to copy. Oh, okay, I changed the interface, the VPN interface down. Give it a moment, the routing will change, the password. Okay, it's up again, yeah. So, public key of the second station, paste it. Okay, that's where the server will know who is talking with. And the allowed IPs, I mentioned only the station, yes. Now you can run double click up and the LAN interface. Okay, now the VPN is up, so the traffic pass via the VPN. Let's check it out. Let's raise the, of course, VPN interface on the client, second client. And we don't have VPN established yet. Why is that? So we have access to the second station, but not to the third station. Let's set the interface down. Go over the configuration. Okay, all look good. Let's set it up again. Oh, okay, it's working. I'm even in a guest house in Laos, very bad network. Probably that's the reason the LAN here is barely moving. Very slow. Okay, and as you can see, we get the IP of Washington. Okay, we ping to the server. It's working. Let's ping to the other station. If you take the interface down, you see that we don't have ping anymore to the server. Let's raise it up. And the VPN should be back. Okay, yeah, we got the ping. Down. Go down, and you can also see that the IP we are getting is the local one. If you run the command IP info, I will blur it out because I don't want you to know where I am exactly. I'm scared for my life. Let's take it up again, the VPN, and as you can see, we are back in America. Americano. Sometimes it's stuck because the routing of the traffic, the interface up and down, it takes time for the routing to work or establish the VPN. So give it a couple of moments. It should work. Okay, yeah. Down, up. I don't know, the network here is horrible. Give it a couple of moments. The IP of the server. That's right there. Okay, yeah, we got the ping again. Yeah, okay. Something with the network here, I don't know what. And it's very cheap VPS with barely a resource, that's why. Okay, let's check the location. Yeah, we're back in America. Washington. Grant. Take it down. We're back in Asia. Okay, so the VPN is up. And let's make sure it's with survivor boot. System CTL. Enable G-Quick, and the interface we set. Now let's do small experience. We ping to the server and to the first station, and let's ping also to Google. Everything's work. Let's run TCP dump, and you can see the traffic pass through the VPN. Now let's reboot the server, and you see how the traffic go down, and it should re-establish at the moment. Okay, the server is up. You see the traffic is keep coming forward, passing through the VPN from the server. Let's go to the first station, and as you can see, we can ping to the server, we can ping to the second station. They're all on the same VPN layer 2. Okay, let's reboot station B, and as you can see, it's go down. Okay, it's back up. This was fast. Back to station B. Everything is working. Yeah, okay, so you got the point. Yeah, we can ping everywhere. The VPN is up, and everybody happy. Okay, so I will share the cheat sheet. We see we're booting the server, it go down and the server go up. The VPN will be established and all the ping will keep running. Give it a moment. Okay, server is up. All the pings are running. Yeah. Okay, that's it. This is what I have to today. If you have any comment, just write in the comment section and I will be more than happy to answer. If you enjoy the content, you can subscribe, like, buy me a beer. Anyway, that's it. Have a nice one. Cheers.